to Loddon Valley, where it is NBL Division 1 time as the hometown Reading Rockets take on the Newcastle Knights. Newcastle, unfortunately, losing out in the National Cup semi-finalists against National Cup final-bound Reading Rockets, who got the job done on the road last night to the Derby Trailblazers in a closely fought campaign. John Hobbs, Liam Barker joining me in the commentary booth. Liam, for the first time, welcome, and what a matchup we've got here today.
Yeah, it's a big match. I think this is going to be a great game.
Absolutely. Let's look at the two teams, starting with the Newcastle Knights, who have come a long way. They've played a double-header. This will be the second game of their double-header. And plenty of good names in there. Ronald Blaine stands out, but for you, Hafiz Abdul is a player that stands out for you as well, Liam.
Yeah, I mean, he led the league last year in scoring with nearly 23 points a game. I mean, in just 3 games this year, he's averaging almost 26, so it's big from him, I think.
Absolutely, and a guy who can shoot the ball very well, used to play for the Worthing Thunder before starting the season in the SLB with Manchester before heading a bit further north to Newcastle. And if we look at the Reading Rockets team, and a team that is without Reece Pinnock still, but also Victor Olarerin is not playing today due to personal reasons, so a bit of a knockback there for the Rockets, but still lots of strength in abundance.
Yeah, I think there's going to need to be a very big scoring load from Mitch Clark today. I think he's going to have to do a lot in and around the key to draw them fouls, to get to the line quicker, to get the point total up earlier, but I think it's been a great game for him to push the floor and really go at it.
Referees for today's game: crew chief Spiridon Spirides, Taff Thompson Maboyo and Jamie Wheeler. Great to have you all on board on the Basketball England YouTube channel. We are live from Loddon Valley. And in just a second, we will get starting fives for the two teams. Noise is absolutely deafening, a near full house here at Loddon Valley this afternoon. It's kind of the norm, isn't it, Liam, to have good houses here? And of course, you and your team, the Reading Rockets wheelchair basketball team, played earlier on today in front of a good crowd. It's a norm here in Reading, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're a big basketball place now. Loddon Valley, there is no place louder when this place is packed out. Last week, 22nd, I think it was, we played Titans, 172 people there, and that was definitely just playing. So I can imagine sitting there right now is probably pretty uncomfortable.
So we are moments away from tip-off for Tyner Sangu, Lewis Champion, Mitch Clark, Zane Porman and Justin Hopkins starting out for the Rockets. Corey Johnson, Logan Rooney, Robert Reed, Hafiz Abdul and Ronald Blaine starting out for the Newcastle Knights. Hopefully you can hear us as well on the Basketball England YouTube channel. Let us know if you certainly can, because the noise is quite loud in here and we can barely hear ourselves talk, let alone there be any sound.
Yeah, it's a loud place.
Thank you for confirming that there is sound. As we are moments away from tip-off, Robert Reed and Tyner Sangu will jump it out. And we are underway here at the Valley, and Champion gets the first possession. Here is Clark. Porman. Nasangu. This will be an interesting battle with Abdul inside. Abdul more of a perimeter player, but you can see there, uses his basketball smarts, gets an early offensive foul.
Yeah, I think he needs to really use his body on defense here to kind of make tight early.
Knew exactly what Tyner Sangu was doing. Back to the basket. An experienced player, Hafiz Abdul, formerly of the Worthing Thunder. Here is Johnson. Here is Abdul on the ball. Reed wide, open for three, no good. Nasangu rebounds. Good offense early on though from the Knights. Here is Clark. Clark almost had it stolen, does have it stolen from Blaine, but Hopkins picks it back up, and now he attacks the hoop and scores.
Yeah, and Justin Hopkins is a high flyer, so you got to stop him early or he's going to put it in the hole pretty quickly.
Here is Blaine. As you say, Liam, attacking the hoop with vigour. Justin Hopkins, he's done that nearly all season long for the Rockets. Here is Johnson. Abdul in his favourite spot for three, nails it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't give him that much space. I think you've got to deny the ball from him getting there early if we're going to have any chance at this.
He's been doing that all season long. Throughout his career, Hafiz Abdul, that corner three, a specialty of his. Here is Hopkins driving to the hoop. Good defense from Corey Johnson. That ball goes out of bounds, and it will go to the Knights. Positive start from the visitors, very patient offensively, waiting to get to their spot. They've obviously got an offensive foul in there as well. It's been decent from the visitors to start.
Yeah, it's complete contrast to how they started against Hemel yesterday, so it's quite good to see this.
Blaine, who had a very good first quarter against Hemel, turns the ball over though. Blaine, who had 24 points, 8 rebounds last night against the Hemel Storm. Here is Hopkins to Champion. Hopkins gets it back. Champion drives to the hoop, looks for Nasangu. Good defense from Reed. Probably too much contact for Robert Reed, and Ty Nasangu will head to the foul line.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to keep him from getting under the basket there. You can't let him get there. Second is there, you're not going to draw a foul or he's going to score.
And Ty Nasangu at 6'10", or a shade under 6'10", around 6'9.5". Under the basket, one of his specialties. It's around 62% from the field last season when he played for London Elite, and he's similar numbers this season. However, this is one area that he does struggle with from the foul line. He has been known to hit a couple in a row, and he hits the first there. This season, a 48% foul shooter. Last season, he was 46 when he played for London Elite. But he makes them both there. That's a good sign when Ty Nasangu can make consecutive free throws.
Yeah, if he can do that, I think he's going to give this team the edge against Newcastle here.
A strong player, Ty Nasangu. There's Newcastle break again, and Logan Rooney slicing down the lane for two. Clark stolen away by Abdul. Two good stops for Hafiz Abdul in the early going. Rooney a three.
Yeah, they've got to limit these transition threes. They're looking for it every time at the moment.
And the Knights lead 8-4. Clark loses the ball. Good defense from Johnson. That's a backcourt violation. That's good defense there from Corey Johnson, and Mitch Clark just caught in two minds of what to do there.
Yeah, I think Mitch is better when he gets the ball back once he's in the half. I think you get more from Mitch Clark when you can give him the ball, give him a little bit of space, but when he's being pressured up like that, he needs a little bit of help.
Rooney. Here is Blaine. Abdul. Rooney drives along the baseline, finds an open Robert Reed, a three. That's in and out as the shot clock was winding down, and now, just as you say, Liam, Mitch Clark in the open floor. Here is Poorman. Poorman drives at Abdul and finishes.
That's a great finish there to die in the pick and roll there, so he's got to go straight to the basket. He does it strong and well.
Reed. Blaine. Drives at Champion. Slight mismatch here. Rooney Shot clock at 5 for Newcastle. Johnson, a big 3 in and out. And Abdul did well to keep it in, and a bit of a miscommunication there, but Poorman comes up with it. Mark Elderkin wants a foul, and Zane Poorman the finish, and Mark Elderkin not happy with the call.
It's a great finish.
Tied at 8 now, as we have played 4 minutes and a bit of change in the first. Here is Rooney. No hesitation, but way off. Clark has it. Poorman drives at Logan Rooney under the basket. Good help defense from Reed. Hopkins a 3, short. And Rooney nearly got it stolen by Poorman, but they still have it. Nice move there from Johnson, misses the layup. And Champion has it. Champion looks for Nsangu. Good defense again from Reed, but a traveling violation has been called. We've seen this in a few possessions. Robert Reed, the Newcastle number 12, help defense has been outstanding so far. Yeah,
you've seen it for a couple of teams this year, especially against the Rockets. When Ty gets down low, they try and smother him to make him make a decision that isn't shoot. And when you put him in that situation, turnovers like travels and stuff happen. So.
And here is Reed on the ball. Nearly travelled with it. Rooney still has it. Blaine on the spin, the extra pass, Johnson a 3. And Corey Johnson with his first 3-pointer of this game. And a steal as Rooney comes up with it. Nsangu for company, Rooney gets fouled. No, he travels with it. Maybe one too many steps for Logan Rooney, and Jamie Wheeler, the official, in very good position to spot the travel.
Yeah, Rockets have got away with a mistake there very easily, I think.
Poorman. Clark on the spin, that's tough.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about at the beginning. He's just got to be aggressive and attack the basket.
Actually struggled from the field last night against Derby, was 3 of 14 from the field, but obviously Reading still came away with the win. Mitch Clark with his first bucket of the day. Newcastle with a 1-point lead here at the Valley. Abdul in acres of space, but Nsangu with the rebound. Bit of a let-off there for the Rockets. Abdul can hit them from there. Poorman now driving to the cup, and it's stolen away from Abdul. 2 quick steals for Hafiz Abdul, and the finish at the other end from Rooney. Newcastle so quick up the other end.
Yeah, I think Rockets have got to try and get away from this baseline a little bit. They're putting themselves in a position to fail if they keep driving the baseline with no space.
Champion looks for the step back 3, instead drives it alone, and Abdul collects the loose pieces. Some good crucial stops here from Newcastle. Abdul driving along the baseline, looks for Reed. And they will reset with Johnson with 9 on the shot clock. Pull-up jumper doesn't fall for Corey Johnson. Clark lost his dribble there, and Reed is all alone. And Reed with the finish, uncharacteristic of Mitch Clark, who dribbled the ball onto his foot. And as a result, Newcastle have a 5-point lead. Timeout called by head coach Samit Nurizade. But a good start to this first quarter, Liam, from Newcastle, who have got some crucial stops and have converted very well. They've been smart with their offense, no real rushed offensive, just playing their style of basketball, very patient, breaking in transition when they can. And for Reading, it's been a bit of a chaotic start for them, hasn't it?
Yeah, normally Reading play quite well when they're playing with pace and pushing the floor, but Newcastle have slowed themselves down, and where Reading aren't getting them stops, they're not being able to break the floor, so they're having to go to their sets, which they've struggled quite a bit with at the moment, especially getting the pick and roll at the top of the key. When they defend inside the way they do, you've got to move the ball to the corners and get an open shot there somewhere.
Of course, the Reading Rockets will be in next Sunday's National Cup final. They will play the Hemel Storm at the National Basketball Performance Centre in Manchester. The Women's National Cup final will see Endeavour Ipswich take on the Brent Bulls. For tickets information, head to basketballengland.co.uk. It's at the top of the page if you want to head down or head up to Manchester. And if you are a Reading Rockets fan, there will be plenty of information on the social media channels Rockets Reading. Should be a great day out in Manchester. If you're a Hemel fan or a Reading fan, Brent or Ipswich. And again, another turnover. And again, Newcastle break. That doesn't count, that dunk fell out. That's a rarity. Champion, as Reading look to take advantage. So far, Newcastle really getting their hands in the way of every Reading pass as Clark misses the layup. The Sangu inside, and that ends a very chaotic sequence there with a missed dunk.
Yeah, we've seen it again and again. It's happening every time. They've got to clear this up in the second half court.
Logan Rooney thought he had an open dunk, but the ball did not drop all the way down. Abdul on the spin, misses. Blaine looks to tip, Ullman rebounds. Matt Ullman into the game for Zane Portman, the lob! And the Sangu, the hammer.
Yeah, they've been doing that all year. It's a great pick and roll duo, Mitch and Ty.
Early highlight reel there for Ty the Sangu. And Rooney, a tough finish at the other end.
Yeah, I think for them to stop getting them cuts from Newcastle, Ty's got to start playing up a little bit more, be aggressive.
Champion looks to respond. Reed thought he had the block, but foul has been called. Good start, though, out of the timeout, and Tyna Sangu got that earlier dunk, will head to the bench. Simon Chamberlain comes into the game for the first time. And Lewis Champion heads to the charity stripe, and despite getting the win last night, Lewis Champion, as he misses the first, just 1 of 6 from the free throw line against Derby. And for a veteran player, a good shooter like Lewis Champion, very uncharacteristic of him.
Yeah, I mean, watching the game yesterday, there were a lot of missed free throws from Rockets in general. I think the end of the game, I think they missed 6 in a row. And you can't be doing that, especially late game in a close game like that.
Makes the second, though, and the Rockets trail by 2. 1:30 to go in the first, and an easy finish there for Theo Riley. Champion. And Ullman explodes to the hoop.
It's a 2-point ball game.
Here is Riley. Johnson. Johnson gets it back, a 3, money.
Yeah, especially when Rockets play the zone, I feel like they leave the corners wide open a lot.
Johnson, a 44% three-point shooter last season with the Trailblazers. Champion, the runner.
It's a great finish for Lewis there, driving the lane.
3 points now for Lewis Champion. Final 35 seconds of this first quarter. Johnson inside, Blaine under the hoop, doesn't get it the full. Good defense from Matt Ullman. Of course, Matt Ullman and Justin Hopkins going up against their former clubs today. So certainly Matt Ullman and Justin Hopkins will be looking to impress against their former employers. Here is Blaine. Well, Blaine couldn't get the ball. It was stolen by Chamberlain. Hopkins full head of steam. And it's a foul, I think, on the floor. Only 3 team fouls in this first quarter. And for Justin Hopkins, it was a continuation, so he'll go to the foul line.
Yeah, I mean, when he's putting his head down like that and he's dribbling down the floor, I wouldn't want to get in front of him, so...
Justin Hopkins currently on 2 points. Reading shooting very impressive, 66% from the field. Ronald Blaine having a chat with the officials. And it's actually going to be a sideline, it's actually going to be an end-line possession here for the Rockets. So Justin Hopkins not going to the foul line. And an easy finish for Chamberlain. Where was the defense? Here is Blaine as we enter the final 10 seconds of this first period. Newcastle by 1. Blaine driving, and Blaine is fouled.
Yeah, the clock's running down. I think you've got to put more pressure on him, send a double maybe, just to kind of make him make a choice instead of letting the clock run down.
And that's Ronald Blaine's bread and butter. He loves that isolation play as Simon Chamberlain comes out, Zane Portman comes in for the final 1.7 seconds. Mark Elderkin just having a quick word with Theo Riley on this final possession. Newcastle do have 1.5 seconds to get something. Abdul doesn't get his 3 to drop. And that ends the first quarter here at Loddon Valley, and the Reading Rockets trail the Newcastle Knights 22-21. It's been a fairly even first quarter of play as Taina Sangu leads the way with 6 points for the Rockets, and leading all scorers Logan Rooney with 9 points. But either way, it's been a fairly even first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of Rockets mistakes one end and a lot of driving and cuts leading to threes on the other end.
As we look at some of the highlights from the first quarter, and just to confirm, it is definitely Reading Rockets 21, Newcastle 22 at the end of the first period. But if you're Mark Elderkin for Newcastle, you've got to be happy with how that first 10 minutes has gone, especially with the offense he's been playing. We've been saying how patient they've been, looking to get to their spots, and so far they're doing just that, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they're getting a lot of wide open looks in the corners, which is great. I think they could do more of an inside presence and get a big man, someone down there to kind of force the action a little bit for Reading.
And for Reading, obviously no need to hit the panic button. They are only trailing by 1. There's 3 quarters left to play. But so far, some of their offense has been kind of chaotic. There's been some very good spells, don't get us wrong, but it's been a bit more chaotic, hasn't it, for them?
Yeah, I think you've got to kind of look at the mental fatigue a little bit as well. They had a game yesterday that was a tight game towards the end of the game. Now they're coming back in after travelling. They've got to get their head right and just play the game how they should play it.
But obviously no one travels like Newcastle. Of course, they've had a near 300-mile trip to Hemel last night. Stayed in Reading overnight, did the Newcastle Knights before coming here this afternoon. A few of the players checked out the wheelchair basketball action as well, which was good to see. Here is Rooney to start us off. Johnson given a lot of time along the baseline, doesn't get it to drop. Ronald Blaine did very well to collect the offensive board. And Afis Abdul knocks down a 3.
And there's another one, we'll talk about it again, another corner 3 where he's got the ball first.
Clark, that is tough over Blaine.
It's a big finish from Mitch Clark. We need more of them today, I think.
Mitch Clark at 6'2" over the 6'7" Ronald Blaine. Johnson responds for 3, and the buckets are flying in everywhere right now. And not even minutes played in this second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a bit of a miscommunication there. Someone's driving down the middle of the basket. One of you's only got to go. Someone's got to stay in that corner. They've made the same pass 3 times now on 3 possessions, so.
Well, a foul was actually called on that 3-point shot, so Newcastle will keep the possession. And Abdul doesn't respond with a 3. That could have been a quick 6-point turnaround for Newcastle. They still lead it 28-23 early doors in this second quarter. Hopkins in a straitjacket, kicks it out. Chamberlain a 3.
That's a big three for Simon Chamberlain. If we can give him open a bit more, give him the option to be able to move with the ball a bit, I think he's going to have a great game.
And a quick timeout called by Mark Elderkin. He has seen enough, and he's just called in his guys for a quick chat. But a good start to the second period from Newcastle, but Reading now starting to find their rhythm, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, Newcastle is still a great start. I don't think they've had a terrible beginning to the quarter. I think there's just a little couple of things they need to clear up. But doubling the low post when Justin's got the ball, you can't give up a wide open corner three on the other side. You've got to communicate that and move the floor a little bit better.
Well, as we mentioned, it is National Cup Finals weekend next week in Manchester, the Junior Cup Finals, and then the Senior Cup Finals. Reading Rockets will be playing a major part in that. They will be in the men's final against the Hemel Storm. And Liam, you were fortunate enough to watch both games last night, alongside obviously prepping for Manchester Revolution today. You know, what did you make of those two games that you watched?
Obviously, Hemel have always had a good start to the season, and they've got a big man that can shoot the ball very well. And that's what you're going to need in a team like the NBL, where a lot of teams have a pick and roll big man. You have a big man that can shoot the ball, you got no chance.
Of course, Hemel and Reading have met once already this season here at the Valley, and Reading, one of only two teams that have beaten Reading on home floor this season, and the only NBL team to beat them on this home floor, as Johnson doesn't knock down his three, and a whistle has gone. Unsure on who I think the foul is on Matt Ullman. It is. That's his second foul. Obviously away from the ball, but Newcastle retain possession. Abdul, Blay, putting the moves on Hopkins. Nice pass inside Riley, great hang time with the finish.
Yeah, that's a great finish, especially with three people around him.
Good find as well from Blaine. Poorman, Hopkins begging for it, but he gives it up to Clark. Clark has a bit of room and connects on a three.
And this is what I was saying earlier about Mitch Clark, having the pick and roll at the top of the key, give him options, let him move the ball a little bit, see what he can produce.
Rooney, here is Abdul. Rooney has it back. Currently leading the Newcastle score, and here is Riley, excuse me. Shot clock winding down. Riley inside. Abdul, good defense from Ullman. Now there should be a bit of time on the shot clock. The referees are just going to go over and check, but there won't be many of it. Maybe Theo Riley should have got the elbow jumper to fall there, but instead wanted to give it up to Hafiz Abdul. It was very risky with so little on the shot clock. Well, there should be some time on the shot clock. Samit Nuruzadeh being ushered away by the officials. But a very strange possession, wasn't it? Especially as Riley had an open shot there. It was around 7 feet out, decided to kick it out to Abdul.
Yeah, there you've got to be a bit more selfish and take that shot. That's the look for the possession there. He can get the rebound if it misses, but that first initial shot has got to be the one that goes up.
Well, just checking, the shot clock is still on 24, so there will be, just seeing, so it's 0.3 of a second on the shot clock, so it's literally a pass and shoot, almost like a volleyball type shot. Will have to go up. There it comes, and it does hit the rim, so he did well there. But Riley misses it, and here is Clark in the open court. Chamberlain will hold it. And Clark resets. Clark driving, gets it to Poorman to the rack.
Yeah, once again, that's created by showing the pick and then makes you driven the basket and giving it off.
Great find from Clark as Riley heads to the floor and Reading get a stop. Chance to take the lead. Poorman drives at Abdul and gets the easy finish, and Reading have the lead. Good physicality there from Portman. And Reading have the lead, and a steal from Hopkins. Hopkins driving. Will that count? Yes, it will. A three-point play opportunity.
I said it earlier, when he gets the ball in the open floor and he's driving the basket, there's not many people that want to get in the way of that.
Corey Johnson can't believe that basket will count, but it will as Theo Riley heads to the bench, and for the first time, Afresh Sayab Khalil comes into the game for Newcastle. Of course, Khalil and Tyne Nasangu know each other very well, both played for London Elite last season. Khalil, a good scorer, 13 points averaged last season, but has adjusted to a bit lesser role here at Newcastle this time round, but still a very good offensive player as Hopkins makes the extra free throw.
Justin completes the three-point play. Rockets up 5.
Here is Blaine. Finds Abdul, has a bit of space inside. Good defense though, a mixture of Portman and Chamberlain getting in the way. Here is Portman at the other end. Gets it to go, and a foul.
And he's had a great start to this game. I mean, his physicality going to the basket. You've got to put a body in front of him instead of just shadowing him to the basket.
Portman now moves on to 10 points, a perfect 5 of 5 from the field, and it's mainly been under the basket where he's got his points to go. Very high percentage rate of scoring there.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to get double-digit points and not shoot a jump shot is a great way to start a game.
And Zane Portman will now head to the line. Had 14 points, 7 boards last night, did Zane Portman against the Trailblazers in their National Cup semi-final. A really solid outing from a player who has really matured over the years. Started out at Alec Reid Academy in London, then went over to Team Solent Kestrels, where he really thrived under coach Matt Guyman. Here is Khalil. Johnson looking for help, 7 to shoot for Newcastle. And Johnson runs out of room, and that's good defense from the Rockets. An uncharacteristic turnover from a veteran like Corey Johnson.
Yeah, it's just about putting bodies in the way of them for now. Kind of giving them the space to make mistakes is something we can't live with at the moment.
Here is Clark for the Reading. Chamberlain doesn't need any space there for his three, but he misses it. Blaine. Johnson, and that'll be a travel. Johnson caught in 2 minds there, didn't he?
Yeah, back-to-back turnovers. It's quite interesting to see how Newcastle are playing with Abdul on the bench now. They got to attack the basket a bit more, I think, get the ball in the hole early.
And Scott Angus comes into the game for Hafiz Abdul, and into the game for the first time, and on the ball, Isaac Spurrier for Reading. Nasangu can't hang on to that pass, and Newcastle will get the ball back. 3 quick turnovers from both teams. In fact, actually, it was deflected out of bounds. So a fresh 14, Reading have the ball back, and we will say no more. Here is Portman. Portman putting the moves on Angus. Good defense, but inside the finish from Nasangu.
Yeah, I mean, great defense to start off, but once again, you've left tie down with one person.
And an emphatic throwdown for Tyne Nasangu. Blaine. Rooney on the spin. That's good defense from Chamberlain, but the referees don't agree, and Chamberlain with the foul.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see how Reading have sucked into the key now to kind of force them to shoot a little bit after a couple of runs where they've made mistakes.
And Logan Rooney a chance to end a 12-0 run from Reading here as Mitch Clark heads to the bench. Lewis Champion comes in. And Logan Rooney to the line. It's been around nearly a month since Newcastle last played a league game. It was a victory over the Bradford Dragons, 90-73. That man at the line had 27 points that day, and a guy that really can fill up the stat sheet when needed. But he's missed both free throws there.
Good job, good job.
Here is Champion. Champion gets it back from Pullman. Champion sees a bit of daylight, finds Spurrier. Shot clock at 4. Chamberlain a 3. And Blaine, a full head of steam. And the easy finish for Rooney.
Yeah, once again, they're taking too long to get to their set offense and forcing them to make mistakes.
Champion driving at Blaine and responds in kind.
Yeah, I mean, he's great at denying the pick and going straight for the basket.
Khalil nearly loses it in a straitjacket, finds Johnson. The extra pass, Rooney a 3, nails it. Newcastle have recovered well from the 12-0 run that Reading had earlier in this second period. And Rooney steals it again. Has Nasangu for company, misses the layup. Good defense from Nasangu.
There, I don't think you should change your shot. I think you should go up through that contact. You're likely going to get a foul there.
Champion creates some space, and Nasangu the easy finish. Blaine. Khalil putting the moves on Chamberlain. Angus for the screen. Nearly the pick and roll working perfectly there, but it will stay. In fact, it won't stay with Newcastle. It will go to Reading.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely slowed down what they're trying to do now. They've got back into the flow of the game a little bit, but I just think at the moment, Reading have noticed there's not much of a threat on the floor. Bar number 7, and you got to push up and play aggressive with them on defense a little bit more.
Sova Candy into the game as well for Newcastle. The number 5 mixes his playing time with the Knights, with the Newcastle Eagles in the SLB as well. Here is Champion driving, and Zane Portman can't hang on. Too hot to handle the pass from Champion. But especially in the last 4 minutes, this has been a very good spell for Reading. The game was tied at 30, and a 14-5 spurt here from the hosts.
Yeah, I mean, Reading's scoring abundance. They don't just score throughout the game. It's a shot after shot. Newcastle
have been very stagnant on offense. Blaine looks to change that, and that's trademark Ronald Blaine. Chamberlain to Champion. Chamberlain gets it back. Backing down Khalil. Finds Portman. Good defense again from Blaine. Newcastle with some good stops here. Candy kicks it out. Rooney a 3. And the rebound taken by Champion. A bit of a let-off there for the Reading Rockets.
Once again, it's still in that corner area. They're leaving the gaps.
Less than 2 minutes to play in the second. Champion with a mid-range J. Blaine. Matched with Nasangu. Blaine, the finish. And Blaine with a few words to Nasangu as well. Champion drives. Finds Portman, catch and shoot, nails a 3.
And once again, he started the game only shooting layups. He's got the confidence now to pop out and hit a 3. That's what they need.
Zane Portman having a fantastic game thus far. Blaine with the miss. Here is Champion. Nearing a minute to play in the half. And Rooney, the steal off the pass from champion Blaine. Almost nonchalantly drives to the hoop but misses the layup.
Yeah, you can't let him get there. You've got to meet him higher. Once again, it's the same problem they have with Lewis down the other end.
Blaine with just 4 points at the moment, all of them in the second period. Champion drives to the cup and the tip in from the Sangu.
I don't know if that wasn't over the cylinder, I'm not sure there.
Tyler Sangu flirting with a double-double. He has 12 points on 5 of 5 shooting. Throw in 8 rebounds now with that tip. 4-second differential between shot and game clock. Khalil. Rooney, a 3 from the wing. Doesn't go. Big rebound by Sporia. Final seconds. Champion, a wild 3. Clips the rim. And that ends the first half here at Loddon Valley in a very good second quarter for the Reading Rockets. A 12-0 run has led to a 51-39 advantage at the half. Very good second quarter from the Reading Rockets.
Yeah, huge from the Reading Rockets there. I think Newcastle came out with a game plan and they've negated that, and now they've got to try and go back to the locker room and work something out to build on that.
Leading the way, Zane Porman has 14 on 6 of 7 shooting. In fact, Reading is shooting nearly 70% from the field here in the first 2 quarters. Newcastle are led by Logan Rooney, who has 14 points. But a lot to think about for coach Mark Elderkin, who had a good start to the first quarter, but has seen his side drop drastically in the following quarter. And they trail 51-39 at the half as the fans descend across Loddon Valley's floor. As you see the Reading Rockets heading to the locker room. It's all smiles for the Rockets heading into the third quarter, but they still have work to do, and Newcastle certainly have work to do as well. Join us in around 12 minutes' time. Myself and Liam will be right back with you. Welcome back to Loddon Valley, where the third quarter will be underway momentarily. Reading Rockets lead the Newcastle Knights 51-39. John Hobbs, Liam Barker on the commentary box, giving you the action for this second half, and it's been a very convincing first half for the Reading Rockets eventually, as we look at the stats for the first half, and as you can see right there, 80% from inside the arc, 2 of 6 from downtown. That's very convincing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they're not shooting as many threes as they normally do, just because they're getting in the basket so easily.
And as we see on the rebounds, it's 21-12. I was just looking at that, thinking, Newcastle have got more than 1 rebound, but 12 rebounds in all, but either way, that's still pretty dominant, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And any team that can crash the glass well is going to end up putting themselves in a good position to win a game.
So as we start the third quarter in just a second, and a lot of ex-Rockets in the building, most notably Danny Carter is here today, and George Clark, one of the Reading Rockets players, and who suits up for JMA in the EABL, his parents also in the house. And we can't forget that your own family are here as well, courtside, as they always are. And I see that a little member of the family has taken your normal seats as well.
Yeah, a little baby Clay. It's my brother's son.
Of course, we wish Reece Barker well and hope he's doing okay. Missed today's game against Manchester Revolution with an illness. That flu bug going around, that'll get you, definitely. So here we go, start of the third period. And Mitch Clark will get us underway. Here is Hopkins to Champion. Clark driving to the hoop, that's a high degree of difficulty.
That is a great finish.
Gets it to go. Incredible composure there from Clark. 53-39, early doors here at Loddon Valley. Abdul finds Rooney. Lovely link-up play with Abdul, and that's a lovely bit of basketball from Newcastle.
Yeah, Rockets need to keep him slowed down. He only had 6 points in the first half. That was a great job. He's got to keep doing that.
Here is Ullman. Good defense from Reed. Here is Champion. Champion slashing to the hoop, and a foul has been called. And it'll be on Logan Rooney. And that's Logan Rooney's first foul of the game. No real foul trouble to speak of in this game. Clark on the catch and shoot, doesn't get it to fall. And Logan Rooney rebounds. Here is Johnson to Abdul. Abdul slashing to the hoop, and Hafiz Abdul will head to the line. He was looking for a cutting Ronald Blaine along the baseline, decided to go it alone, and Abdul will head to the stripe. And a player that you're a big fan of, Liam, Hafiz Abdul, led the league in scoring with Worthing Thunder last season. Started out with Manchester Basketball in the SLB and came to Newcastle, but a really talented scorer.
Yeah, I mean, especially we've just seen it the last 2 times. When he puts his head down and decides to go to the basket, he's clearly looked to Simon Chamberlain and said, you know what, I can take you physically. And he's pushing the pace, and he's made a make the first time, he's gone to the line the second time.
3 games he's played for Newcastle. He's averaged 26 points so far this season. And it looks like it will not be a shooting foul. It will be a possession for Newcastle. Second time that's been changed in this one. Blaine has it. Blaine picks up his dribble, finds Rooney. And Rooney's pass goes straight out of bounds.
Yeah, it's always going to be difficult, especially when a team's playing physical the way they are and the refs are letting a lot go. For Newcastle to get open looks the way they're passing the ball at the moment.
Let's go, Rockets, let's go!
Champion to Clark. Clark gets it back. Ullman at the top, that's short, and it's rebounded by Abdul. And now Ronald Blaine full head of steam. Nearly stolen away from Clark. Blaine still has it. Johnson. And doesn't get it to fall, and a good box out from Champion over the much taller Hafiz Abdul. And Champion a bit of room. Doesn't get the three to drop. Both teams struggling from downtown here in the early going. Blaine doesn't get the offensive foul. Mitch Clark, and Blaine the easy finish. Referees thought that Mitch Clark was playing for that.
Yeah, Mitch got to stay on his feet there if he can and be physical with them.
Let's go, Rockets, let's go!
Ullman. Here is Champion. Drives at Rooney. Finds Clark, back to Hopkins. Ullman wide open for three, no. Again, Reading struggles from downtown continue in this third. Abdul, lovely change of speed, great block from Ullman. And Reading get the ball, fantastic defense from Matt Ullman. And Champion to the hoop, and Champion almost goes right into the Reading crowd. And he will get two shots. As Ty Nasangu and Zane Portman come in. And Chamberlain and Ullman will take a seat. Robert Reed comes out as well. Theo Riley checks in for Newcastle. Lewis Champion, one of two tonight from the stripe. And we mentioned earlier on about Lewis Champion 1 for 6 against Derby, so a good free throw statistic will really be good for him.
Yeah, it's definitely going to help with the confidence.
Makes them both. A 66% foul shooter for the season, Lewis Champion. Here is Rooney. Johnson gets it to go.
And Newcastle have run the same action twice now. Abdul's given himself the option and then coming away, and they're playing off the ball and getting a basket elsewhere. Johnson
now has 11. And Portman doesn't get the shot to fall. Hopkins, though, retrieves. 8 to shoot for Reading. Hopkins a three, that's off. And Rooney skies for the rebound and falls to the floor, and Newcastle turn it over. Mark Elderkin not happy, he saw an infringement there.
Yeah, I mean, I think for a Rockets offense here, they've got to get Justin back down on the low post. He's such a physical presence and he could get so high up. I think he needs to assert himself a little bit more to dominate in the paint.
Hopkins has it, here is Clark. Clark a three, no good. Nasangu gets the rebound but throws it straight to Johnson. And a scrappy sequence for Newcastle, and Hopkins has it. And I think Hopkins travelled with it. You saw what he wanted to do, he wanted to lob it to Nasangu, but Newcastle had players back.
Yeah, Newcastle have defended that really well. Rockets are very fun to watch out in transition, a team that throws the ball up a lot for lobs. But Newcastle have defended that really well. Clearly noticed a tie coming down the floor.
10-point lead for Reading, 55-45 as we enter the halfway, or near the halfway point of this third quarter. Abdul at the top. Doesn't get his three to fall. Blaine fighting with Champion and Portman. Portman has it. Clark slashing to the hoop, and Mitch Clark will head to the foul line.
Yeah, I said it in the first half. When you give Mitch the time to come down the floor and see the floor, as a late trail offensive player, Mitch does really well getting to the basket to draw fouls.
Mitch Clark, 86% this season from the charity stripe, 26 points, 6 rebounds and 3 steals in Reading's last league game at Worthing last week. Misses the first, though. That's uncharacteristic of Mitch Clark, who actually struggled last night against Derby, 3 of 14 from the field, but still did just enough to help Reading over the line and into the final next Sunday in Manchester.
Yeah, 3 of 14 is something that's going to bother you.
Makes the second, though. Of course, back-to-back National Cup appearances for Reading coming up against the Hemel Storm. Johnson doesn't get his 3 to fall, and that'll be a possession arrow ball, and it will stay with Newcastle. Of course, what an encounter it's going to be next Sunday against the Hemel Storm. Back-to-back National Cup appearances. They lost last year against Milton Keynes. They'll be eager to get back into winning ways, will the Rockets.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great game. I think it was Hemel that took their only loss of the season, so I think that's going to be a good matchup for him. It wasn't a bad game last time they played them. I think if they can keep playing the way they're playing at the moment, they'll be fine.
Tickets are available at basketballengland.co.uk. Should be a thrilling day at the National Basketball Performance Centre in Manchester. Here is champion. Pull-up jumper, good defense from Rooney. And away comes Newcastle, and an offensive foul called, and Ronald Blaine getting in the way of Mitch Clark. How many times have we seen that from Mitch Clark this season?
Yeah, he's got such quick feet to be able to get in the way of a transition defender, but he's also very smart on how he does it. He doesn't jump in too early. He leaves it for the offensive player just to be too far away to be able to hit him.
And Ronald Blaine knew instantly what that call was happening. Timeout has been called, and Newcastle still trail, but it's been a good spell for the visitors, but Reading have executed just as well.
Yeah, we've seen third quarters like this a lot from Reading. They'll keep score. Teams might score a bit on them, but they're going to keep the score and go in to slow them down a little bit.
4:51 remaining in the third period here at Loddon Valley. And alongside the National Cup final, Reading will also be involved in the King Trophy final at Surrey Sports Park on March the 15th, where they will face the Milton Keynes Breakers. And that should be a really exciting day of action in Guildford as the fans screaming here at Loddon Valley. They'll do anything for gifts, won't they?
Yeah, anything that gets thrown into the crowd, the Reading Rockets fans are always big on it.
As the action restarts, and I can barely hear myself talk. Here we go, as Portman has it, matched with Blaine. Portman, lovely pass to Hopkins, and Justin Hopkins will head to the foul line. That's another foul on Abdul.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see more from Justin there, is when the ball's at the top in the paint, him just cutting back door to get a little dump down to be able to go up with it.
I say that's another foul on Abdul. That's actually his first foul. But either way, Hopkins attacking Hafiz Abdul aggressively, getting himself to the free throw line, and he'll make the first. 14 points, 9 boards last night against Derby. Justin Hopkins. And he makes the second as Afro Sayab Khalil comes back into the game. Logan Rooney takes a seat. Riley, Abdul. Finds Riley to the hoop. And on the follow, Ronald Blaine.
Yeah, that's great to be able to stay with the game there and just tap it in and help him out a little bit.
Poorman. Here is Hopkins, or excuse me, it's Clark with the ball. Clark still has it, finds Poorman, thought about the three, drives, and that ball goes out of bounds. Probably one pass too many there from Reading, and it's a needless turnover from the hosts.
Yeah, you want to see him Poorman be a bit more aggressive, especially the first half he had going towards the basket. You'd like to him at least look at the basket instead of cutting and then passing out straight away.
Khalil to Abdul. Khalil has it back, and Khalil loses it, and Poorman comes up with the steal. Poorman finds Clark cutting to the hoop, and his shot doesn't fall. Nasangu does very well to get the offensive rebound, and Clark has it back. Clark a three.
Yeah, you don't want him to start getting hot like that right now.
25 offensive rebounds last night against Derby. They had 24 against Worthing, did Reading. And Poorman collects the rebound off the miss from Blaine. Hopkins has it, the lob, and the finish from Nasangu and one. You can hear the smack on the wrist as Ty Nasangu was going up, an obvious and one.
Yeah, I mean, when he's there, I think you've just got to kind of accept your fate, especially as a smaller defender there. You've just got to accept that he's going to go out with that. Let's not get the foul, let's go down the other end.
Matt Ullman comes back into the game. Lewis Champion heads to the bench. Rockets in command, 63-47. Nasangu to the stripe, having a great game thus far, makes the free throw as well. Like we said at the top, when Nasangu is making free throws, it's a good day for the Rockets, but a very good player and having a great game here today, Ty Nasangu. Khalil driving to the hoop, the extra pass. Abdul, again, good defense from Nasangu. And the pass deflected out of bounds. It will stay with the Rockets, but this is a good spell from Reading.
Yeah, they're putting the pressure on Newcastle a bit. They're making a couple of mistakes now, so if Reading can start capitalising on this a little bit, I think they might run away with this.
And the referee's just asking the moisture technicians to get to work on the other end of the court just before play can restart. Reading with a comfortable lead, 2:43 remaining in the third, but a turnover there as Poorman's pass goes straight out of bounds.
A little wasteful for the Rockets on offense that occasion. With a 17-point lead, that can change quickly. Maintaining discipline required.
Here is Riley getting us back underway for Newcastle. "17-point lead for the Rockets. Khalil. Riley, a three, nails it.
Yeah, and see, this is where when Rockets play under the screen, they're leaving that three-point shot open for shooters.
Theo Riley averaging 8 points, 5 boards this season for Newcastle. Hopkins is fouled by Khalil.
Nice offense from the Rockets. The cutting Hopkins hits.
And a 14-point lead for the Rockets, chance to stretch it to 16. As Isaac Spurrier will check in momentarily for Reading. Isaac Spurrier has had quite a busy week. He was part of the Great Britain Combine that took place in Cardiff. But his time on the court will have to wait. And here is Blaine. Blaine to the rack. And Ronald Blaine will head to the foul line. Blaine just saw a slight opening and took full advantage, but didn't get his shot to fall. Spurrier will now come in, and the Sangu will head to the bench. As we mentioned, the Sangu, Spurrier, what a week he had, not just with the Great Britain Combine, was the EABL Player of the Week for JMA at 30 points, 15 rebounds in the win over Copleston. And another player that has great potential, especially in the junior international arena, someone who can really, really flourish, Isaac Spurrier. As Blaine makes the first.
You can do better than that, Loddon Valley. You what?
2:06 remaining as Blaine splits the free throws as we enter the final 2 minutes of this third period here at Loddon Valley. Here is Clark. Gets it back from Allman. Clark drives to the hoop, and he'll go to the line. Did so well to use his body to create that contact, and now he'll head to the line.
Yeah, I mean, there's great court awareness from Mitch Clark there. He's seen that they can't get their set, so he's driven straight to the basket with 6 seconds left on the shot clock, and he's been fouled.
Mitch Clark hits the first free throw. It's now a 15-point lead for the Rockets. And Clark makes the most. Blaine finds Johnson, needs no hesitation, and he knocks it down.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a difficult shot. You'll live with that one for now.
38% from downtown this season. Final 90 seconds of the third. Allman to respond. And his shot is long. Big offensive rebound from Portman. Portman dancing to the hoop, blocked by Riley. And away come Newcastle. And that's a foul on Mitch Clark. And you could see frustration there from Ronald Blaine that he couldn't get a fast break score.
Yeah, Mitch just dived in. He was trying to go for the charge game, but he slowed the play down, so.
Ronald Blaine currently on 9 points, 4 of 9 from the field. Second foul on Mitch Clark, entering the final minute of the third period. Here is Khalil, matched with Spurrier. Khalil dances a bit too much, Spurrier comes up with it, and so too is Theo Riley. And Khalil comes up with it. Johnson a three, no. Blaine collects the offensive board. Lovely footwork inside Riley, or excuse me, Logan Rooney the finish.
Yeah, that's just come these last 2 minutes. Rockets have kind of been going through the motion, so Newcastle have put their foot on the gas a little bit, and we've got a bit of a ball game coming again.
16 for Rooney. And that's his first field goal of the third period. Clark, step back jumper, in and out. And it's the final seconds of the third quarter. Shot clock is off and Newcastle will slow it. Johnson gliding to the hoop and he puts it in at the third quarter buzzer, and it's a single-digit lead for Reading, who led by as many as 17 points. But now Newcastle slowly but surely getting back into it.
Yeah, it's just been a slow couple of minutes for Reading. There's been a lot of broken offenses, a lot of uncertainty of where players should be, and you can see the frustration from Mitch Clark a little bit, asking his teammates to give me an option instead of having to ISO ball it. I think for Newcastle especially, they've got to just make a couple of makes on these broken plays and get some scores in the basket.
Tyler Sangu and Mitch Clark leading the way for Reading with 15 points each. Tyler Sangu, 6 of 6 from the field thus far. Logan Rooney leading the way for Newcastle with 16. 2 points, though, in the third period, but it's... could say it's firmly in the balance, really. Even though Reading leads by 9, it is anybody's game, really, going into this fourth period.
Yeah, I mean, the first and third quarter have both been close scoring. It's that second quarter that gave them the lead, and they really pushed. But this day, like I said, the end of that third quarter just wasn't the level we'd seen for the rest of the game.
30-17, that second quarter that Reading won gave them that sizable lead, but Newcastle, as Liam has said, has come back. And Reading, even though they lead by 9, not home and dry by any means necessary as we head into the final quarter. A few highlights just on your screen there for a bit as we get set to start the third quarter.
Well done, come out. Here is your overnight stay for a family of 4.
And Reading get us underway to start the final quarter here at the Valley.
Well done, come out.
Here is champion to Clark.
Awesome.
Lovely pass and a big block as Theo Riley sends that almost into the locker rooms. The layup attempt from Isaac Spurrier, but a big block from Riley. Champion, 7 to shoot. Lovely footwork, Lewis Champion.
Yeah, and he turns his direction so well that it gets to the basket like that isn't a challenge for Lewis Champion.
Khalil. Rooney. Blaine putting the moves on Spurrier. Blaine dancing to the hoop. And a foul has been called. Isaac Spurrier unsure as to why that foul was called. It's on him, and that'll be his first foul. And Ron Blaine will head to the strike.
And I mean, Isaac's been, they're clearly trying to isolate Isaac here. So he's got to try and find a way of being a bit more aggressive on the ball and just keeping his position instead of falling behind and then getting stuck.
Ronald Blaine misses the first free throw. Ron Blaine, a 65% foul shooter for the season. Makes the second.
Let's go, Rockets, let's go.
Champion, Chamberlain. Clark, burst of speed, good defense from Blaine. And away come Newcastle, another stop for them. Khalil puts up a three, can't get it to fall, and Chamberlain rebounds, and that ball hit the boarding out under the basket, so that'll be a Reading ball.
The ball will come back to the Rockets. 8:56 in the ball game. Let's go, Rockets, let's go.
Clark, and Clark is fouled by Rooney, who frustratingly slaps his hands. And that's a third foul on Logan Rooney.
Fouls Clark to pick up his third personal. Let's go, Rockets, let's go.
Chamberlain, here is Champion. Putting the moves on Blaine. Champion, good defense from Blaine. But the referees didn't agree with the call, and it's a foul.
Yeah, I mean, once again, Lewis has just shown us he's come from the weak side, turned the corner, and got to the basket.
And that's 4 fouls as well on Ron Blaine. So, big call. Mark Elderkin will keep Blaine in. Champion. Slashing to the hoop, Spurrier. Chamberlain. Shot clock winding down. Simon Chamberlain gets it. 12-point lead. Riley dancing to the hoop, explodes for the score.
Yeah, Newcastle are going to need to get some quick scores here just to bring this game in a little bit more. So when you get to that 4-minute mark, you don't have to panic as much.
Champion has a bit of room, knocks it down. Lewis Champion from downtown.
Yeah, that's going to be a dagger, that one.
Especially with Ronald Blaine on 4 fouls, he couldn't commit too much. Rooney to respond, and does, over Mitch Clark. 10-point lead for the Rockets. Champion to the hoop. Clark, lovely footwork and the finish.
Yeah, it's a great finish again.
Blaine looking to respond, and Ron Blaine is fouled. Unsure if that will be shooting fouls, and it will be 2 foul shots for Ron Blaine. Sami Nurizadeh not sure on that call. But that's just testament to who Ron Blaine is, a player who is so competitive and so fearless going to the hoop. And he'll get 2 shots as Hafiz Abdul comes in and Afrosayab Khalil checks out.
Yeah, I don't know how they've called that shoot in there. He's clearly passed to the corner. I don't know how he's managed to get to the free throw line.
I'll leave that one up to the officials. I'm not qualified enough for that one.
So yeah, we're in a little bit of shock. But now's the time to make some noise. You what?
Ron Blaine hits the first, and a player that's not just on the playing side, but has found a new vocation as well. He's joins up with Drew Lasker, commentating Newcastle Eagles home games in the SLB, and doing a very good job as well is Ron Blaine. Still firmly onto the playing side of things though. Champion to the hoop. Can't get it to fall. Blaine rebounds. Here is Riley. Rooney. Blaine has it back. Offensive foul, and that's Ron Blaine done for the night.
Splendid defense again from Mitch Clark.
And Ron Blaine knows it. He'll have to go out. And into the game, Noah Sarr will check in for the first time. And you could tell at the moment that Ron Blaine drove to the hoop, saw Mitch Clark drop to the floor, he knew instantly that that was going to be a foul.
Yeah, especially this late in the game. That's one of them frustrating fouls that you could have prevented. I mean, the last 2 times he's driven the lane, that slow first step that's made the defender jump has drawn 2 fouls off it.
Checks out with 12 points. And Corey Johnson, that looked to be a clean foul, but Lewis Champion has hit the deck hard. Corey Johnson, though, that shot there, that was, looked to be all ball. Referees decided there was a bit of grabbing as well.
I think it was the second contact.
As you see Ron Blaine there in the picture just a second ago. Lewis Champion heading to the charity stripe for the Rockets. Reading leading by 10, 6:56 remaining here on the Basketball England YouTube channel. As Champion makes the fast.
Nice.
And Champion makes them both.
Sends the Rocket lead to 12. Inside the last 7 minutes. Defense.
Here is Sarr. Johnson putting the moves on Ullman. Tough 3-point attempt, doesn't get it to fall. And Ullman gets tangled up with one of the officials. Here is Abdul. Shot clock winding down. Abdul goes up. And a travelling violation has been called.
Great defense on the Rockets. Travel called. Newcastle are lucky. Getting a deflection off the referee.
Great to have you on board on the Basketball England YouTube channel, by the way. Good to see so many of you checking out the action here at the Valley. Champion, Chamberlain at the top.
with Simon on the floor, it's a much different look to Ty. He'll pop to the three instead of drive to the basket, which gives Rockets a different look.
Riley. Saar. Here is Abdul. Losing his footwork, somehow finds Riley, who scores under the basket. What a find, though, from Hafiz Abdul.
Yeah, I mean, what a tough finish as well.
Great hang time from Riley. Champion a three. No. Ullman somehow keeps it in, but straight to Theo Riley. And Saar all alone for two. Yes, just. Chamberlain with great help side defense, though, but Saar had just enough. Champion. Find or look to find Spurrier, but Theo Riley in good position to deflect the ball out of bounds. And a timeout has been called by Mark Elderkin. His side trailing by 9 with 5:17 remaining, and it's one of those games where you feel Reading look comfortable, but then all of a sudden Newcastle have a spurt and make the game interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Reading have got to stay confident in their ability here. Newcastle were really trying to push the action and force it under the basket, but they're not just quite the little mistakes they're making at the moment, they're big ones with the time left on the clock.
As a timeout has been called, and it is the traditional sweet chuck here in Reading, where sweets are being chucked across Loddon Valley, and this is the part where Charlie would try and get some free sweets.
My catching ability is not going to get that for you today, I'll be honest.
Trust me, mine is not much better either. 5:17 remaining here in the final quarter, and Reading up 81-70 over the Newcastle Knights. And it was a tough game earlier on today for your guys, the wheelchair basketball team, losing narrowly to Manchester Revolution. A tough game, but you were in it for the first 3 periods, weren't you, Liam, until that 4th quarter happened?
Yeah, it was just 3 quarters of great basketball, really, and it was just that the experience from Manchester with players like Martin Edwards and Abdi Jammer just changed the game for in the last 10 minutes.
Of course, a game that was littered with Paralympians and GB Junior Internationals. Liam Barker, of course, included in that. As Mitch Clark misses the 2, and a foul has been called on Theo Riley, who holds his knee, was clashed there a little bit. Lewis Champion with his first foul. Of course, it's been certainly great to see the wheelchair basketball team getting good crowds at Loddon Valley this season, with promotion from Division 1 into the Premier Division. Here is Saar. Finds Abdul. Abdul bodied out by Chamberlain. Chamberlain the other end with the finish.
Yeah, I'm liking this aggressive Simon Chamberlain, playing up on a big man, getting his hand in there. It's a great job.
Saar. Finds Riley. Abdul. Extra pass. Great passing from Newcastle. And it finishes with Abdul inside. That's beautiful, patient basketball, though.
Yeah, I was just about to say they've done a great job of getting the ball out of Abdul's hands into that final pass there where he got a layup off of it.
Ullman did well not to get caught for the travel there. Here is Clark. 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the 4th. Clark to Hopkins. Hopkins buries a 3. Logan Rooney. Rooney nearly had it stolen by Champion, and it will stay with Newcastle.
Yeah, Lewis putting up on the ball there, giving the pressure, trying to force him to make a decision. It's a great choice right now.
Logan Rooney, 19 points here today, leading the way for Newcastle. Abdul, who's currently on 10 points on 4 of 13. And the ball will stay with Newcastle. You can see the Reading bench jumping as one. They wanted it to be their ball.
That's 2 now that Newcastle have got away with getting trapped in that corner. They've got to get the ball out and get back into the open court a little bit more.
Johnson, 6 to shoot for Newcastle. Again, good defense from the Rockets, and again, Newcastle get the ball back. 3.7 on the shot clock, though. So Newcastle have got to get busy here. Abdul steps out of bounds.
Well, I mean, we've just seen the last 4 times they've poked the ball loose, they've gone out of bounds. It was bound to happen at some point, it was just when it happened.
And Reading get the ball back. That's Newcastle's 19th turnover of this contest. Champion inside to Hopkins. Hopkins over Johnson. Great defense from Corey Johnson. And now Rooney can break. Good defense at the other end from Champion, and Reading get the ball back.
Yeah, Reading seems to keep back into their stride a little bit now. They had that slow start to the 4th after a slow end to the 3rd, and they seem to have put the pressure back on Newcastle to make the mistakes again.
Clark. Chamberlain a 3, buries it. Huge 3, Simon Chamberlain. And with 2:52 remaining, as Rooney looks to respond, he can't. Hopkins rebounds, and Champion has the rebound. Reading looking to hit the dagger on Newcastle as if they haven't already. Champion puts it up, and he will head to the stripe.
It seems at the moment as well, every time Lewis is going up for a shot, that after contact is putting him on the floor.
And Lewis Champion heading to the line, and you've got to believe with 2:32 remaining, if he hits both of these free throws, that will be that. Obviously, a lot of time in basketball, isn't it? 2 minutes and 30-odd seconds, but not when you're trailing by 19, or possibly 19. And Champion just does that.
Yeah, it's a nice change from yesterday, especially going 1-6.
Rooney inside, a quick basket for Newcastle. Clark to Hopkins, the runner, gets it to go. Here is Rooney. Rooney to the cup, and just about gets it to go.
Yeah, Newcastle is clearly trying to get some quick scores in here, but they're not stopping down the other end, which is causing the problem.
21 now for Rooney. And Clark and Champion slow it down. Chamberlain. Clark a 3. Gets it to go. Mitch Clark from downtown. Sarr. And Sarr can't respond.
The thing is, in this time here now, Newcastle can't rush the shots because they need the points, but they've got to get it out quickly.
Champion dancing with Sarr. Chamberlain in the corner, splash! Game, set, match, Reading Rockets. And a steal as well, Hopkins, exclamation point! Rooney, short with the 3-pointer. But a good day's work for the Reading Rockets. They hit the ton, and they will come away with the victory here today.
Yeah, that's always a good feeling. I mean, triple digits is always nice, but especially in these last few seconds, Newcastle have just got to keep staying in front. They don't want it to get out of hand any more than it is.
Chamberlain Well, he was feeling it, even though Rooney was in his face, and an unsportsmanlike foul has been called on Justin Hopkins. That's something you don't see, especially when there's other players on the other end of the floor. But hey, again, I'm not a referee.
You've got the whole defense back, everything.
Adam Coxon and George Clark come into the game for the first time for the final 32 seconds. Great to see the JMA products from the EABL seeing some court time, much needed court time for these promising players. Adam Coxon, a former Myers Co. junior. And Theo Riley splits the free throws. Newcastle will get the ball back and a 14-second shot clock. It's academic really now, isn't it, with Reading having secured the win. Abdul. Newcastle will keep playing though. Saar, 3 short. Abdul gets the rebound over Coxon and puts it in. And Spurrier gets it back, and you can see a few of the fans wanting the Reading Rockets junior players to get on the score sheet, and the Sangu has it. But with the final seconds ticking by, Reading will look to see it out. Coxon will put up a 3, and it's way off, but either way, Reading Rockets come away with a 101-79 victory. Just the tonic that Reading need ahead of next Sunday's National Cup final against Hemel. You could barely hear me, it's so loud. But a 34-21 fourth quarter gets it over the line for the Rockets, and a convincing win here today.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely put the pressure on. Their second quarter and fourth quarter both scoring heavily has really, really helped to finish this game out the way it did.
6 players in double figures for the Reading Rockets, led by Mitch Clark, who had 20 points. Lewis Champion had 18. Simon Chamberlain, a quiet 7 of 10 from the field. He had 17.
Yeah, I said it earlier on. When Simon comes in the game, it gives that different look, and he capitalised on the opportunity he was given.
Logan Rooney led all scorers with 23 points for Newcastle, but they fought to defeat today. The Reading Rockets come out 101-79 victors. My thanks to Liam Barker. Thank you for joining us on the Basketball England YouTube channel. Next up, it is National Cup Finals weekend on this channel. Don't go anywhere next weekend. It's going to be a feast of the best of British basketball. But my thanks to Liam Barker. I've been John Hobbs. Have a fantastic evening wherever you are. Take care and goodbye for now.